Well, commiserations, Garry. A disappointing and frustrating afternoon, I imagine. Got yourselves ahead and then let in 2 goals in the second half.
Yeah, without a doubt. I felt we were quite comfortable first half. I think we deservedly 1-0 up. And going in half time we were quite relaxed, but the big fear factor we seem to be having at the moment, John, and it's happened several times at the moment, is that we are low on confidence. We've got overall quite a young side and things aren't easy in any way or form, and when we seem to concede a goal it seems to affect us in a big way, and all credit to Boreham that they've equalised, and within 5 minutes they found themselves 2-1 up, and it's the same procedure at the moment, John. It's very, very tough for everybody at the football club. It don't matter who you are, in respect of whether you're a manager, a player or supporter, that the league table and the goals conceded at the present time, and they don't tell lies. We're conceding far too many goals, and the frustrating part really is at times that we're finding ourselves in winning position in games, and I look at it and it's really, really hard to analyse one way or another when you've got a certain amount of players you've got to go and work with, and you've got to go and work with what you've got available. With injuries, that doesn't help us, but one way or another we're not good enough, John. And when we find ourselves that we're 1-0 up here today, and we were 1-0 up at Bromley, and we were 1-0 up at Southport, and we were 2-0 up at Solihull Moors, and we were 1-0 up everywhere. It's tough, and we are finding it very, very hard.
Do you think that's the fear factor coming in, Garry? Because obviously, up until really the game the other night and today, maybe the Sutton game, we've been more of a second half team, haven't we? And is that been because we've actually been down and we've had something to chase? Why do you feel that is, that today we didn't really get going that much in the second half?
I think it's 2 types of different pressure, really. I think that when you find yourself and you come back from being 3-1 down against Eastleigh, and you're 1-0 down against Torquay, and you put in some great second half performances when you're behind, it's a different type of pressure. You're chasing the game, but I feel that we seem to be struggling at the end of the day in respect of when you've got certain players who are your main players who ain't playing enough games for you. At the end of the day, my skipper Ismail Yakubu, I've had 6 games out of him so far in the first 18. Now we all know he had a bad injury last year. It's not that injury from last year, but he's been picking 1 or 2 niggling injuries up. But when you lose a player like him, and in the 6 games he has played, I think you find that we picked 5 results up, and we are quite young, we are a little bit naive, and I look at the goals we conceded here today, that they're cheap goals, John, from our point of view. That's no disrespect to Boreham Wood, they're going very well this year, and all credit to them, but what they do very well, and when they find themselves, and you look at the league table in respect of how many goals they've conceded and then they've scored, when they get themselves in a position, they set out to make it tough for other teams. We're not streetwise enough yet, John, and we're in for a tough time. We're in for a tough time, and it is concerning because I think over the last 5.5 years since I've been manager at the football club, and with Steve Thompson, my assistant, who works very hard and does very, very well with me, and with the board of directors, supporters and everybody connecting, we've been punching way above our weight, John. We really have. And law of average does work out in life and in football, that you can only be doing it for so long, and we're in a situation or a position at the moment now, it's gone hard on us. We're in a battle, we're in a relegation battle. There's no secret about that. We are strongly in a relegation battle, and we have to try and get some of those injured players back. And when I look at what we've had over the last 3 weeks, which has gone down on either an injury situation or a lone player gone back, and when I look at the likes of Brian Sarr and Ismail Yakubu, my 2 centre halves who are not fit, and then I look at Conor Essium gets recalled by Eastleigh, where I was grateful for Eastleigh to help us out. I lose Michael Polk, my goalkeeper. I lost Zach Answer in the sense that I've lost Jake Caprice today. I lost Denham Lewis through injury. There's only so much you can do, and you're putting square pegs into round holes. So, with myself, no problem. I can handle that. I don't worry about that. I think everybody knows me, and I've been around long enough. I'm thick-skinned, I'm a winner, and it's a football club which, I'm desperate. I'm desperate to make sure that we don't drop out of this National League, because there's a lot of good sides below us. It's a very tough league now, we know we're in, so it's going to be a long hard winter. It's going to be a very long hard winter, and it's going to be an interesting few months, I'm sure, for everybody connected to Woking Football Club.
And this afternoon, Ben Jefford made his debut on loan from Forest Green. He acquitted himself very well, didn't he?
Yeah, he done well, Ben, and again, you know, grateful there to the help from Forest Green, you know, from Mark Cooper and everybody there. Ben Jefford's a very accomplished left back, and he's given us a little bit more there. But as I say, it's calling favours in, John. It's calling favours in as a manager through my contacts and years of experience of knowing people, and I'm grateful for all the help we keep getting and hanging in there. And as I say, it's a case of I just would like to get the same team out what I'd like to select for 4 games. That's all I want to do, you know, get to that situation to be able to turn around and have the same team for 4 games, get a little bit of settledness in the team and see where we go from there. But at the moment, as I say, tough.
And next week, Garry, it's a break from league action, an FA Cup tie away at Stockport County. How do you view that game?
Banana skin. That's what you have to say, and that's what the FA Cup's made of. It's a game where it's a great prize for both clubs. In respect of ourselves, that opportunity to get in the second round proper and potentially be 1 round away from a Premiership club. That's what the prize is. The same for Stockport County. Be a big crowd up there. They average a good crowd. They've got a very good, experienced manager. They're a club which have had, no doubt about it, some lean years, but they'll be determined with a big crowd behind them to make it very tough for us up there. We know that. We know that. There's no secret about that in any way or form. So we'll have to be our best.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Garry. Safe journey home.
Cheers.